Om Shri Sai Ram. We offer our most loving salutations at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Dear viewers, welcome to the 7th episode of Manohridaya Sai. So far we've had doctors and other senior devotees who have addressed us. So today we have planned something different for you. We have here Mr. Shravan Kumar. He is the Senior Manager, Department of Anesthesia, Casualty and Urology, and he also takes care of the Sai Rehabilitation Program. And to my right I have Shri Subba Rao. So he is the Senior Manager, IT Services, and he heads the Hospital Information Systems Department. And both of them have been here even before the inception of the hospital. So now we are in our 20th year, and we are going to take a trip down memory lane. And just as a bee, it visits flowers and then enjoys the nectar, we are going to stop at several places during the last 20 years and then drink from the bliss that Bhagwan has blessed us with. We would also be visiting various places over the next couple of episodes that Swami has spent time at and bestowed bliss upon devotees. So we will each of the places then will take a new meaning. It will no longer just be a place, but it will be a place that represents Bhagwan's love. So when we come to know that a person is a devotee of Swami, the first question we usually ask is when and how did you become a devotee of Bhagwan? So I will start with that very question. Probably pose this to the senior most brother here, Mr. Shravan Kumar. Sai Ram, Shravan.
Sai Ram.
So can you let us know, when did you come to Swami and how you first your first darshan and
Pranams at the lotus feet of Lord Sai. Respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, Sai Ram to all of you. At the outset, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and my memorable experience with Swami. I came to the fold before my grandparents had come. My grandparents and parents from 1950s, they had come to Swami's fold. So that is the time my parents had seen in Bangalore and Chamrajpet Swami had here. So that is the first darshan they had from that time. So Swami had blessed our family, my 4 sisters, Namakaranam Swami had did, Swatantra Bharati, Jayashri, Vijay Sai, then myself Shravan Kumar and Leela Rani. And he did Akshara Abhyasam for me and then Open NM. Then throughout the journey of my life, he has been blessing in different period of the time. So this is about how I came to Swami, and I was a Balavikas student. So after the Balavikas, then I received the Balavikas pre-Sevadal certificate from Divine Hand at Sundaram. So you must be seeing the photo will be displayed. That is the first photo that was the first interaction which I had with Swami, eye-to-eye contact which I remember.
So you did your BCom between 1985 and 88.
Yes.
And yours was the 3rd batch of MBA students, right?
Yes.
I hear that, those were days when Swami used to personally conduct classes for MBA students, and MBA was the place to be. Swami used to interact a lot with MBA students. Can you share, from any of the experiences that you had?
So actually during our MBA 3rd batch, that is 1980, I did my Brindavan in BCom 85 to 88. Afterwards, MBA 88 to 1980, MBA 3rd batch. So we are very fortunate. Of course, apart from regular classes in the institute, every Sunday we used to have a regular entry with Swami. And Swami used to conduct classes. She used to talk about commerce, ethics, and Kautilya Shastra, and about marketing, when he was telling about the marketing, he created a shell-shaped soap, and he was telling the quality, how the quality is, how the design is. So that is the, so many things are there. Over a period of time, he used to come and, during the exam, one of the exams, he had personally come and supervise the exam also. He just came and visited us. So that was another unforgettable moments.
Any experience that you've had of Swami's omniscience, like you've been thinking of Swami, he should answer this question, which is in your mind.
Yes. When you said this, I recollect. During BCom, one of the darshan times, I sat with a photograph for Swami's autograph. Suddenly, I had a doubt whether Swami is Shirdi Baba avatar. Basically, we are Shirdi devotees. So when Swami came out for darshan, he came straight to me and he asked, "What is your name?" So I said, "Swami, my name is Shravan Kumar. You only had the Namakaranam for me." He said, "Then what is your mother tongue?" Then I said, "Marathi." Then he spoke to me in Marathi. He said, "Paya Pad." Paya Pad means in Marathi to take Pad Namaskar. So he lifted the robe and then he permitted to do the Namaskar. Then when I got up, he said, "I am Shirdi Baba." So this divine revelation is unforgettable. This was happened in 1986. So as of till date, I remember. So this is one of the divine revelations and his omnipresence. This he had showed me this.
Now over to Subbarao brother. So he joined in 92, right? And then he went on to do his Masters in Science, Bachelor's, Masters, and then an MTech, completing the 7-year tenure in 99, right? So I'm sure, like, because some of the experiences are like, which exhibit Swami's omniscience, omnipotence, but there are some which stand out just for their simplicity and for the love that oozes out. I'm sure I can recollect many during my time. Can you talk about any such experience that you've had during your...
Yes. I was taking care of one department as part of Self-Reliance. I was part of the department in hostel, which is called Alter Group. As part of our work, we used to provide items for the students to take to Swami. When boys have got birthday or their birthday is there, then they would go to Swami for blessings. So we used to give them cloves, groundnuts, or tray and other things. So that was part of my duty as part of this altar group. I think in 94, Swami actually gave us permission as students to go and offers Harti to Swami. That is using coconut. Swami's, when Harti is going on, one of the students can go and then perform Swami's Harti. So he had given permission to start that. So as part of that, every day...
we had requested and Swami had...
the warden sir had requested, and then Swami gave him permission to allow students. So the final year students used to go in turns and then perform this Aarti. On daily basis, 3 students were going. One will offer flower to Swami, the other will give him clove and groundnuts, the third one will actually perform Aarti. So when the Mangala Aarti starts, at the end of the bhajan, Swami will come out of the hall to go back to his residence. That's when these boys go. So the organizing, that also was part of our group's activity. So I used to make those arrangements, and initial many of the days I used to go along with these boys so that they know exactly what they have to do and when they have to do. So first few days, first day when actually the boys went, Swami used to come for darshan and bless birthday boys. So when he blesses birthday boys, he used to give them vibhuti packets. So these boys also had desire that Swami should give them prasadam. but then they cannot take immediately. So when their actually turn came towards the end of the bhajan session, when Swami finishes his finishes bhajan and comes out, that's when they used to go. They went and then offered flower. Other one offered clouds, and then the other one was doing Harti. They took Pad Namaskara, and one of the boy asked Swami, "Swami, please give us prasadam." So Swami had to actually immediately call for the that small bag and then give them prasad. So keeping this as the routine, subsequently the next day also the students, these three boys who went there, they go take Pad Namaskaram and ask for prasad. So it happened 2-3 days like that.
So just to get the order right, I mean the birthday boys are blessed during darshan time, and then probably Swami used to grant interviews, or after bhajans, after Aarti, it was the turn of these boys to
Yes.
take prasadam. So the birthday boys are given vibhuti, then Swami
Yeah.
sits the
After the
bhajan.
Aarti.
Then after Aarti, again he
Again
has
he has
asked
to.
for the prasadam to be brought. Okay.
So this happened 2-3 days. Then one day, it was time when Swami came for darshan and then finished his darshan and blessed. Swami blesses birthday boys immediately after darshan or immediately after interview. So he blessed the birthday boys, and suddenly he looked little behind and said, "Coconut." So that's when we realized that these boys have to get up and go to Swami. We don't know why Swami is asking. So immediately they got up and went. Then he took that vibhuti packets. He was giving to the birthday boys as usual. So he took those vibhuti packets and gave them. So he actually, in the sense that he knew that these boys are going to ask him again when the Harti gets over. So in fact, anyway he has to give that. Now he can as well give it immediately. So that's how Swami, immediately gave that to them, and then afterwards,
Like
as usual.
the fruits of the action are given before the action itself.
Yeah. The thing is, we perform Harti to Swami from our side, but then God gives us, even before we do that, the benefit of that, the prasadam. So this was a wonderful experience. I mean, I would say these are small things which Swami, shows his love for his devotees or students, and then he's always looking for opportunity to give. So one more related incident to this coconut Aarti was, and the thing used to go on usual every day. One fine day there was a program in Purnachandra Auditorium. So this time, how boys can actually offer this, because Swami used to stay in PC, Purnachandra. So for darshan he used to come all the way to Mandir. So this time when the program started, Swami went directly from Purnachandra into the Purnachandra hall. So these boys didn't know exactly when to offer. So I also sat with them in the front line. Probably we'll look up for an opportunity when Harti is given. We could probably go, but we could not on the stage. So that could not be done. But then after Aarti is over, Swami retired back. Usually in those days, the Sai Kulwant hall was not completely made. So Swami's residence in Purnachandra used to be seen, and we could see the balcony. And whenever there was a festival, after that function, taking Harti in Purnachandra hall, he used to come onto the balcony there. So, and the students used to run from the hall, Purnachandra hall, and stand below the balcony. Of course, Swami was visible to entire devotees and students all together. He used to wave hands. So at that time, these boys were standing there. One of them was actually holding this coconut, one of them the tray and flower. Swami was waving his hand and looked down, and he saw these boys. This boy was holding this coconut in his hands, and he was looking. And Swami looked at them and then used his finger and said like this, what he meant was he wanted these boys to come to the Purnachandra, his residence. His residence on this side. So that was taken, and immediately four of us, three of them and myself, we went towards that side. And then there, Vednarayan sir was there near the door. We told, sir, Swami has indicated that these boys should come here. So he told, wait. So we waited outside. After some time, actually the door of the Purnachandra Swami's residence opened, and then they called these boys inside. And we, of course, I also went along with them. And then Swami gave them opportunity to do that Harati at that time and take Namaskar. Once he had given the word and he saw this, he made sure that in spite of so many things happening around, he also noticed this small thing and made sure that they are also, receive his blessings.
This must have been a festival time for sure, right? And there would have been huge crowds. But it is so touching that he leaves no stone unturned to see to it that every little detail and every person is taken note of and blessed. Even this coconut arti was one more excuse for one more student to get an opportunity to get close to Bhagwan.
Yes.
And what started like that, you just take one step, he does take 100 steps towards you. That's very beautiful. Shravan sir, so when after your studies, I know that you had a fairly successful career. So you finished in 90,
Yeah.
and then the hospital started in 2001. Probably 2000 project time you had joined. Because I also joined around that time. I know that your first son was born around that time.
Yes.
So you have had a successful career. You're doing well.
Yeah.
And you just have had your first son's birth. So that is the time when you start planning for that child also. But at that stage in your life, what was it that made you leave that and then come and join this Swami's hospital?
Yeah. Actually, after I finished my MBA, the last interview when Swami gave us, so he asked each one of us, what do you want? What do you want? So everybody will say, yes, Swami, we want to be with you. We don't want to leave you. So even I told him, then Swami told, no, you go outside, get experience, I'll call you. These words he told me. So that moment I forgot when he said, but I kept it. I used to maintain diaries, so I wrote and kept it. But whenever I used to come for darshan to Parthi Swami, I used to ask Swami, I want to be with you, I want to serve in your organization. So, but in 2000, my first son was born, 11th January on sports day. So then I came to tell Swami that my son was born by your grace, I want your blessings. And then Swami asked, where are you, what are you doing? Then I told him, I'm working in Citibank. That time also I requested Swami, I want to work in super specialty hospital, because that time the project, this thing had started. Then Swami said, okay, go and meet in administration and you will do that. So that is how I came into this. Swami had kept the word. This shows how Swami, when he makes a casual statement also, one day or other he will fulfill that promise. We think, why Swami is not answering my prayer? He is not answering my prayer. But definitely he will answer my prayer.
So though you were outside, your heart was here only.
Yes, my heart was here. And before I could forget, sorry to this thing, one more divine this thing was about the ring, the sai I want to tell. Actually, this ring Swami had given me. Before that, there's one incident behind this. I used to give speeches in front of Swami. Swami used to tell. So I used to be prepared and give speeches. But one day I was not prepared. And Kalyan Mandap suddenly Swami will get up, he told. So I was shocked. Then I went and told Swami, I didn't prepare today. He said, no, you got up and everybody is seeing, you speak. So I thought, okay, it's left to Swami. Then I was blabbering something, I don't know what I'm talking. Suddenly I remembered the word called Agni Pariksha. So Agni Pariksha, then based on that I started talking. See, now summer vacation, when we are going home, it is a real Pariksha. Being good in front of Swami is not important. When you are away from Swami, being good, that is most important. So when we go back for vacation time, our own friends and relatives, they'll tempt us and attract us. They'll take us this thing, wrong path. And that is how then when we had to follow our Swami's principle and how, because whenever we used to come back from after vacation, Swami used to ask us, where did you go, what did you do? So I was sure that Swami one day they will ask us. So this one incident happened, I'll make it in short. So one of my friend tempted me to come, we'll go to Ooty. I rejected that, his offer. So this experience I told, and Swami was very happy. Then he created the ring and he gave me this ring, Sai. So the old word Sai means, Sa means divine, Ai means mother, divine mother, Baba means father. I am your real father and mother, I will take care of you. That moment I didn't realize the value of those sentences. But over a period of time when I lost my father, my mother, so slowly when I become loneliness, so this word strike me. And especially after Swami's physical proximity, physical presence is gone, these words, I am your real father, mother, I will take care of you. It's ever ringing and is ever with me. Yes, ma'am.
When you said, when what Swami says, at that time we may not realize. Even as we are talking now, and you were saying that Swami had given you the name Shravan Kumar, I remember that, both your parents, you used to look after them very with lot of love and regard. So, probably it was a sort of, a sign of things to come, as
Yes.
if we were to put it that way. So coming to Subbarao, so after your education, 99, your MTech. So what were you? Because till 2000, probably this project had started. So what were you doing at that time, and do you have anything to share about that period?
Yes. After finishing my studies, I wanted to be with Swami. So, as you all wanted to be. So, I also stayed back in Parthi, almost not doing anything. So it went on almost so many months, and then it was in the year, I think 2000. Yeah, it is 2000 February. My parents had visited Parthi, and we had darshan, and then when I came back, I got some signs from parents that see, you have been waiting for such a long time, and then doing almost nothing. But you can also see they actually express some kind of concern for me. At the same time, they know that Swami will take care of us. But then there was a kind of concern, and then they expressed that you could probably seek Swami's blessings and do something which will make Swami happy instead of waiting like this. So that's when I sort of tried to tell parents that Swami will definitely tell us, give me opportunity. So it so happened that my parents came, and that next day some of our teachers had come for darshan in the morning. Usually from hostel nobody comes for morning darshan. They had come and they had prayed to Swami for opportunity to do Samohika Upanayinam for all the students. So this was a very nice thing. Actually, Swami spoke to them and blessed them. So I went back after darshan. Again, when we went back to room, I told my mother and father that, see, Swami has given opportunity like this. Just then it clicked to them that they were actually thinking of performing Upanayinam for me immediately. They had the thoughts that they should do. So that's something which they shared. Then my mother asked me, why don't you pray to Swami? I said, no, this is for something which teachers have prayed to Swami, and Swami has blessed. This is for the current students. It so happened that that day's evening darshan, Swami had called Warden Sir, and then after bhajans, Warden Sir came out when everyone were dispersing. He called us he said, some of you boys who are around here, Swami has told I have to take your names also for the Samohika Upanayam. Swami has told me that who all are actually in their tradition have got this, I should take you also into the list. So that is how Swami actually, fulfills not only mine but also the parents' desires. Of course, you must be knowing why I am here after that. Why I didn't go back, if at all, if I had thoughts.
It's really many times, because as a parent, I'm sure, like your father and mother, they would have felt, there are so many students who pass out of the college, and if you have to be appointed, there has to be a vacancy in some place, and Swami is busy with so many projects, and there are so many devotees are there, and in all that, he has already given us free education also, and it is in a way they may also be thinking, should we burden Swami with this also? Those kind of thoughts. Do you think he will? Is it right on our part to bother Swami when he has so many? But then, a sincere thought in our minds when we want to be with Swami, how he fulfills the prayers of everybody else as well. That's very, very beautiful. So, just connected to the work that we were doing, now that you are in the department of anesthesia, Swami is also in the department of anesthesia. He says that, see, just because you are devoted to Swami, it doesn't mean that you will not go through
The karmas.
pain. Whatever we have done, we'll have to undergo results accordingly, good or bad.
Yes.
But when you do have to go through a bad phase, he says that anesthesia is there.
Yes, yes.
So you don't feel it.
Yes.
So do you have any anesthesia experience?
Yes, definitely. Over a period of years, we had many ups and downs. But one unforgettable moment is like how Swami has given anesthesia. And, like whatever karmas we have to face, whatever good or bad. So one instant was when I was studying in Brindavan 1985-86. Then one day suddenly he called me for interview. He asked me, what do you want? My mind was blank. But suddenly I remembered my sister, elder sisters, my third sister, who had got married, and because of some reasons, she could not use her right hand. And so the in-laws, they came and left her in our house, saying that she's not using her right hand. So she was staying with us for 1 year. So then I told Swami that because she's not able to use her right hand, she's not able to live with her husband. And Swami created Vibhuti, and he gave me, he said, you send it to her, and it'll get me all right. Next day, again morning, he asked me, did you send the Vibhuti? How you are sending it? Then I said, Swami, I'll send it with speed post. So I sent it, I wrote it to my father. The day when the letter received, the same day, her in-laws had come to meet my parents for discussion. So I had written my father, this Vibhuti is exclusively for sister, Sai Prasanna, you give it to her. So she had applied, Swami, sir applied this thing, and my mother told you prepare a tea for them. Then she prepared and she was offering, she was using her right hand. This was a very big surprise for the in-laws. So they told, okay, we will take her. Then this is how Swami, even though she had that pain and this thing, she had to undergo the thing, but how because of Swami's grace, we could go through without pain. Like how 1,000 rupees coins, if you take a bundle, it will be very heavy. Whereas the same thing, if 1,000 rupees note is given, we carry it in a lighter way. I think you can just give a light on it.
Actually, this is also reverse of anesthesia, I think. Usually what is moving, you make it still. Here, what was not moving, Swami has made it move. So he has done both, given anesthesia and reverse of anesthesia as well. Of course, coming to Subbarao, he is in the IT department. So, one thing that I remember about programming is you cannot even leave a little detail like a semicolon. You cannot miss it out. Otherwise, it will not run at all. So we have often seen, Swami doesn't miss even the minutest of details. So, do you have any such experiences that you can share?
Yes. One, when I was studying, still, I mean, going little backward now, to flashback to studying times. I was in the band. So we used to have opportunity just before birthday to play once before Swami, like a rehearsal. So on one occasion we were organized, we stand in a way, in a fashion where like a marching band, and then Swami, when he visits that, he actually tried to look somewhat like this from front. Then he noticed, he told us, see, who is that who is carrying that big instrument? At that time, baritone sax was the biggest instrument, and it was in the middle. Some random thoughts of us we positioned in such a way, but then he actually rearranged the order. He put that baritone sax in person to come, the boy to come front, and he mentioned one thing, that it should also be seen. What he would have meant, what he meant was, there are instruments, single instruments which are big, and they produce the sound. But then that sound is heard, but it also should be seen. To that detail, Swami goes correcting us. Even being in the band for so many years, we didn't think about that. And then just by listening to that tune and then looking at that, he was able to make this. Another instance is after, just before we joined, Swami, actually it was around the same time in the month of June, later part of the June, Swami was giving us instructions about how we can come for the training, go for the training. Some of them were going to Delhi, and I happened to come to Bangalore. So during that time, one day he actually called 5 of us, and then we all went inside, and Swami sat, he was speaking to us. 4 of them were sitting, I was little away from the place. Then he had something to give as a gift. So he started giving the gift to each one of them, each one of us, I would say. Suddenly I realized that when he gave to 4 people, there was nothing in his hand. So obviously we need not expect anything from Swami. He's always giving. So I kept quiet, and Swami continued talking, and then as if nothing has happened, and then he sent us back. So we went back, but we are still human beings. We still have that desire that something I didn't get. So next day morning, we all were sitting again, and then Swami came for darshan. That time we used to sit in the middle portico in the veranda. So Swami came, and then he looked at me, and then he said, yesterday I have given to those boys, I have not given you, no? In Telugu he said. I was really stunned. I mean, that is like, at that time he looked as if he was so indifferent, and now he remembers that. As you mentioned, even that semicolon is important for him. So I didn't know what to say. I was a little emotional that time. So then he said, Cheppu, tell. Then I got up, I didn't know what to say. He said, tell. What to tell? Then I went in close to his ears and told, yes, Swami, whatever you say. Then he told, okay, sit down. And then he walked away. on the same day, in the evening, he he called 4 other boys who were also going to Delhi. They went inside. Then he looked towards all of us once and he said Bangalore. So that's when I realized it was for me. Then I got up, he said, come in. So I went inside. That's when he had whatever he has to give, which I desired, I would say. He gave those 4 boys and also me. So that's how he seems, it seems as if he forgets or he doesn't know, he doesn't look at us. But he's always on constant, he knows everybody and whatever each one is thinking about.
When we all joined, the prime motivation was the divine magnet that Swami is, and the very charisma of his personality. We just wanted to be with him. What is it that keeps us motivated now? I mean, what do you think? Has he given you any tips? How you can remember him all the time? How not to miss him?
Yeah, it's an unforgettable moment is there. So actually, after I joined our institute here, Swami used to, during project time, every day he used to come visit us. Every inch he has come. Everywhere his eyes are there. All right, from basement to till the top of the building, terrace. He had come to dietary department also. And he had, in his last visit when he came to Ganesha, he admired the Ganesha. He was asking who did the Alankara. Then Dr. Hegde, he showed me. So then Swami saw that. For a few minutes, a few seconds, he was looking there. Then he said Ekadanta. He mentioned Ganesha. Ekadanta. I said, this is one moment. Another moment during college days, during MBA time, one of the interviews, actually in every interview he used to create something, and for an example he used to tell us one thing. So in one interview he created a photo, Swami talking to another Swami. So this photo he created, we were 22 of us in MBA, that batch. So one Swami talking to another Swami. So this photo, and he gave, the significance of this photo is, he said, when you're talking to another person, you think Swami is in them. So that is the main motivation. Especially even in emergency department, we cannot oblige everyone, but we can speak obligingly. That is what this one photo which gave me that message. And this is one real motivation, that you see others, any other patient or any other staff who comes, how we have to see Swami in them and talk to them.
What about Subbarao? You have any thoughts?
From whatever I can recollect, which we have shared, I have shared, that is that Swami is always loving and giving. If we are able to imbibe that and we are able to recognize that message and implement it in our own lives, I think that is the greatest. That is the greatest gratitude we can show to him. That's what I can say.
Thank you, Subbarao and Shravan brother, for this wonderful session. Just as you were mentioning, during the past half an hour, it has all been about how Swami gives and forgives. And you find in very few instances Swami has spoken about his giving or about himself. I think it will be appropriate if we end with one discourse of Bhagwan where Swami speaks about this particular aspect of giving. So we will now have that discourse played.
మీరు ముఖ్యంగా గుర్తించవలసినటువంటిది ఒక్కటి, ఎంబాడిమెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ డివైన్ లవ్. దేర్ ఇస్ వన్ థింగ్ విచ్ యు షుడ్ అండర్స్టాండ్. సాయి తత్వాన్ని చక్కగా మీరు అర్థం చేసుకోండి. అండర్స్టాండ్ సాయి తత్వ కంప్లీట్లీ క్లియర్లీ. సాయికి ఏ విధమైనటువంటి స్వార్థము లేదు. There is absolutely no selfishness.
సాయి
in Sai.
సంస్థలలో ప్రవేశపెట్టినటువంటి యొక్క పవిత్రత ఏ క్షణమునందు కూడా అపవిత్రం కానేరదు.
Those people who enter into Sai organization with sacred heart can never become unsacred.
ఇట్టి స్వార్థరహితమైనటువంటి సంస్థ జగత్తునందు ఎక్కడా లేదు, రాదు, రాబోదు.
Sacred organization like Sai
ఈ
organization
సంస్థ
can never
ఏంటది?
come anywhere in the
అనేక
world.
చిన్న వస్తువులు కూడా దుర్వినియోగ పెట్టడానికి ఏమాత్రమూ అవకాశం లేదు.
There is no room for misusing even small things in Sai
ఏది
organization.
చేసినా, ఏది చెప్పినా, ఏది యొక్క చూచినా అన్ని కూడా పవిత్రమైన మార్గంలోనే ప్రవేశపెట్టుంటాను.
Whatever is done, whatever is talked, whatever is told is only done.
కానీ
in
తెలియని
sacred way.
మూర్ఖులు దీనికి ఏదో ఒక స్వార్థం అనుకుంటుంటారు. ఈ స్వార్థం కోసం ఏమిటి చేస్తున్నాం?
But foolish ones think that this is for selfishness. For
ఇంత విద్యా
selfishness,
సంస్థలను అభివృద్ధి పరుస్తున్నాము.
we are developing, say, the education.
ప్రపంచంలో ఎక్కడైనా కూడాను ఏ విధమైనటువంటి ఫీజు లేకుండా విద్యను ప్రశ్నించేటువంటి సంస్థలు ఎక్కడైనా ఉంటుందా? మీరు చెప్పండి.
You tell me whether there is any education institution in the whole of the world which offers education free of fees and free of price.
ప్రైమరీ స్కూల్ లోపల ఏబిసిడి దీంట్లో పిల్లల్ని ప్రవేశపెట్టారంటే దానికి 10,000, 5,000, 8,000 సుంకం తీసుకుని వానికి సీట్ ఇస్తున్నారు.
For getting admission even into primary school where ABC is taught, thousands of
కాదు.
rupees are charges, fees and
మా యొక్క
donation.
విద్యా సంస్థలు ఏందు 1వ క్లాసు నుంచి PhD వరకు కూడా ఒక్క నయా పైసా మేము పుచ్చుకోవటం లేదు.
In our education,
దీనివల్ల మాకు వచ్చిన స్వార్థం ఏమిటి?
in our education institutions, right from primary to PhD, we don't charge
ఇది
even
100కి 100
fees.
పరార్థమైన భావమే కానీ స్వార్థ భావం కాదు.
100% this is totally
కన్నులు
selfless
లేనటువంటి
support.
గుడ్డివారు దీన్ని చక్కగా గుర్తించుకోలేకపోతున్నారు.
There are blind people who cannot recognize this truth.
కన్నుండి గుడ్డులై కళ్యాణకరమైన ఈ మూర్తి దర్శింపనేరరైది.
They are having eyes, but like blind people, they are not been able to get the vision. of the
చెవియుండి
Lord
చెవిటిలై
here.
అతి మనోహరమైన నావాక్కు ఆలింపనేరరైది.
In spite of having the ears, they are not been able to listen to the sacred words which I am giving.
పాని పంకజమందు పత్తీసుడుండను పాడు సంసారము కోరిరైది.
In spite of the fact that Parthisa is here to give every joy, they are loving family life.
మిన్నడి కాంతితో మేలు పర్వతముండ వెండి బంగారు అయి వెతుకుచుండ్రు.
When there is the mountain of gold here, why should you go in search of silver and
నిజముగా
gold?
ఇది దురదృష్టం తప్ప మరొకటి కాదు.
This is a great misfortune.
ఈ సత్యాన్ని క్రమక్రమేణా మీరు గుర్తించండి.
This truth gradually but
సాయి చేసే సర్వ కార్యములు కూడా మీ నిమిత్తమే.
everything that is done by Sai is for your sake.
స్వార్థం లేదు కనుకనే సాయికి ఏమాత్రం కూడా భయం లేదు.
Because he does not have selfishness, he doesn't have fear.
స్వార్థం లేదు కనుకనే సాయి నిరంతరం కూడా ఆనందంగానే ఉంటుంటాడు.
As there is no selfishness, he is completely blissful
ఈ
all the time.
ఆనందమే నిజమైనటువంటి దైవ స్వరూపం.
And this is the true form of divinity.
నిత్యానందం పరమ సుఖదం కేవలం జ్ఞానముక్తిం ద్వంద్వాతీతం గగన సదృశం తత్వమస్యాధ్యక్షం ఏకం నిత్యం విమలం అచలం సర్వదీ సాక్షిభూతం భావాతీతం త్రిగుణరహితం ఈ రూపం. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మీ నిమిత్తమైన ప్రయోగపెడుతున్నానే కానీ లేకపోతే నాలో ఏమాత్రము గుణం లేదు, నాలో ఏమాత్రము స్వార్థం లేదు, నాలో ఏమాత్రము విచారం లేదు.
This form embodies all the qualities and attributes of the God which are described. There is no selfishness in this form. Nothing whatsoever. It is entirely for the sake of humanity and for the world and for your sake only.
మధుర మధుర మురళీ ఘన శ్యామ మధురాధిపతే రాధే శ్యామ सूरदास प्रभु हे गिरिधारी सूरदास प्रभु हे गिरिधारी मीरा के प्रभु हृदय विहारी मीरा के प्रभु हृदय विहारी मधुर मधुर मुरली घन श्याम मधुर मधुराधिपते राधे श्याम सूरदास प्रभु है गिरिधारी हे गिरिधारी मीरा के प्रभु उदय विहारी मीरा के प्रभु उदय विहारी मधुराधिपते राधे श्याम